y'all back again to talk a little
college football.
NCAA football.
From a different setting.
Football. Yeah, we are in a different setting today. We're not at Autographs Plus. We will be back there for the next one. But today we're coming from Mikasa. And we're going to recap the Week 8 games and do a little predictions for Week 9. We'll jump right off to the number one game of the week, Alabama at Tennessee.
Alabama does this to every single opponent they face.
Alabama beats the crap out of everybody, but Tennessee did score 21 points on Alabama's team.
What are you doing, Bama? What are you doing giving up 21 points to Tennessee?
To Tennessee. And then at Tennessee, like I said, Tennessee actually held them to over 4 minutes on their opening drive touchdown, which is
the longest
this year so far. Mm-hmm. Everybody has scored. Alabama scored an opening drive on everybody this year, but Tennessee was the only one to make them go over 4 minutes.
That is impressive, though.
That is, yeah. Alabama's Alabama.
They beat everyone by 30 points.
It'll surprise me if they lose a game this year, not unless there's some serious injuries. Game number 2, Illinois at Wisconsin. Wisconsin won by 29.
Illinois is just a bad football team.
Yeah, I think we called Wisconsin on that one.
Even if Wisconsin's on a down year, you can expect them to always beat up Illinois any chance they get.
The Badgers were coming off of a bad loss too, so they picked it up there.
They come off a beating against Michigan.
Mm-hmm. We got Maryland at Iowa. Iowa skunked them 23 meep. Skunked them 23. I think we actually called Iowa on that one too, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Iowa's
got a big game coming up this week.
Yeah, they got a big game coming up next week. This upcoming Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And we had Michigan at Michigan State. Michigan really dominated. We actually called for Michigan because we were afraid of their defense, and their defense.
Yeah. It's real.
It's for real.
They lead the country in yardage gained against the opponents per year.
Yeah, Michigan won 21-7 over Michigan State, and Michigan is actually the highest-ranked
Big Ten team right
now, but because of another game we're going to talk about here in a second.
Happen to be ranked above Ohio State.
They're ranked above all the Big Ten ones, yeah. Let's see here. We had Oklahoma at TCU. Oklahoma took care of that one.
Yeah, TCU's really fell off a cliff.
TCU's having a down year this year. They've normally got a good team, but this year they're not doing too good. Cincinnati at Temple. Upset. Temple beat Cincinnati.
In overtime.
24-17. So it wasn't terrible, but Cincinnati just couldn't hang with it. We had Colorado at Washington. Washington won by 14.
Predictable.
Well, Penn State, Indiana. Penn State struggled again. Yeah. Only by 5 points.
Big game Franklin.
Big game James Franklin.
How about that fourth quarter performance in games you should win?
I don't know. Hey, they only played 3 quarters.
And
then they coasted through that last quarter.
They're the Atlanta Falcons of the Big Ten.
Yeah. Well, no, they'll never make it to the Super Bowl, so it doesn't matter. NC State Clemson. I actually thought NC State would put up a fight.
Yeah. They were just like paper in a shredder.
As
soon as they went into Clemson Stadium,
41-7, destroyed. So we got that one wrong. Mississippi State at LSU. We call for LSU, and they won by 16.
Their defense clobbered Nick Fitzgerald.
Yeah. 4
interceptions.
Poor old Nick Fitzgerald. He can run like nobody,
but he cannot.
He can't.
Cannot throw.
Nope. Cannot pass the ball. We had Central Florida versus East Carolina. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Central Florida versus East Carolina. Central Florida won by 27. I think we called for that one too.
East Carolina.
Last year's champions.
Wait, Central Florida. Oh yeah, I thought you said South Florida for
No, Central Florida. Central Florida. Last year's champions, man.
Fake champions.
Banners on the wall, baby.
Banners on the wall.
We got now. The next one is UConn at South Florida, and South Florida won it 38-30.
Okay, now it's South Florida. Okay.
Yeah. And then after that, we had an ugly game. I thought it would be a better game. It's Vanderbilt at Kentucky. Kentucky won by the hair of their chinny chin chin.
Yes,
barely.
Yes.
14-7.
Based on the ineptitude of the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Yeah, and I think B. Snell got injured a little bit, so it slowed down the Kentucky offense. But
basically, they have no passing game, though. That's something to worry about.
No, Kentucky doesn't have much of a passing game. We had Oregon at Washington State. Washington State. I actually picked Oregon in that one, and Washington State creamed them. I mean, what they beat
At
them
home.
They beat them 4 years in a row now. The seniors on Oregon have never beat Washington State.
Now that is something that you
How about that?
talk about some misery.
Speaking of misery, Ohio State at Purdue. It wasn't miserable for me. It was a pretty fun game to watch. 14-9 to 20 loser.
I
for
tell
Ohio
you,
State.
every year, Urban Meyer,
Loses to somebody.
he should not lose to.
No, somebody sneaks up and smacks him and.
Every single season,
Yep.
this happens.
Yep. All right. That was the end of week 8. Let's jump on to week 9 predictions. We've actually got some early ones. We've got 2 top 25
yes.
Thursday games and 1 top 25 Friday game.
So yeah, that's interesting.
So we will jump right back into the Thursday games. First one is Baylor at West Virginia. Baylor being favored by 13.5.
West Virginia struggled last week.
West Virginia is favored by 13.5. So I think that West Virginia wins by 14 points or more, don't you?
Last week they did struggle.
Yeah, they had a little bit of trouble, the quarterback did, for West Virginia. But West Virginia's at home this week.
Yeah, they should bounce back.
So I think they'll bounce back. We got Appy State. Appy State's ranked in the top 25. The great memories of the Michigan game. Come on now. Everybody remembers the Appy State-Michigan game. Thank you, Appy State, for that beautiful memory I haven't made. Appy State at Georgia Southern. Appy State's favored by 10. I'm going to go with Appy State.
Yeah, be safe.
I owe them for that Michigan game,
Yeah,
so I'm going to pick them.
Probably the biggest upset in the history of college football. If it's not the biggest, it's probably one of the biggest.
I'm not a Michigan fan, so it's a beautiful memory that I have in my mouth. Then we have Utah. Utah is top 25, 23, playing UCLA. UCLA's actually got a couple wins now, so they're not a complete laughingstock, but they're pretty bad.
Yes, they're pretty bad.
So we will take Utah minus 10.5. I think they'll beat them by more than 10.
I agree.
And then we jump into Saturday morning, Clemson at Florida State. That should be a very good game.
Florida State is a rotting dead carcass of a football team.
Speaking of dumpster fires, there's a big old giant dumpster burning down there on Florida State's campus right now.
Yes, there's a huge one.
They brought in Willie Taggart. Why? Why'd you bring in Willie Taggart for? He had one losing season at Oregon, and then he was a loser at the place he went before. But wait, how's Jimbo Fisher doing at his new spot?
Number 16, Texas A&M.
Stupid Florida State. Anyways, Clemson at Florida State's favored by 17. They'll beat them by more than 17.
Yes. Pick 20 points.
Yeah, 20 plus. We have Wisconsin at Northwestern. Northwestern's playing a little bit better, but Wisconsin's picking it up a little bit too. Wisconsin's favored by 7.
Yes.
We'll actually take Wisconsin minus 07.
And remember when Northwestern lost to Akron earlier this year?
Yeah. That's bad, wasn't it? That was bad. Then we have one of the juicy games of the week. Florida at Georgia.
Number 9 against number 7.
Number 9 against number 7. 2 top 10 teams at a neutral site. They always play in Jacksonville, Florida.
Florida and Georgia's rivalry can go way back.
Way back 100 years-ish plus. Georgia's favored by 6.5 at a neutral site.
We've really thought about this one. Florida's defense has played consistently well. Yeah. Georgia has a lot of good talent, really nice talent on there.
But they're underachieving. They're young. Georgia's talent's underachieving.
And Georgia's quarterback, Jake Fromm, can't hit an open wide receiver to save his life.
No, he's having a little trouble with his accuracy right now.
But Felipe Franks for Florida is definitely not the guy.
No, he's not the guy. So both of the teams have flaws. I still think Georgia wins.
Yes, Georgia does win the game.
But by less than the 6.5 points.
Yes.
So we will take Florida plus 6.5. So I still think Georgia wins, but I think it's a field goal game. We got another juicy game.
Yes.
We mentioned earlier, Iowa, coming off their big win,
yes,
is going to Penn State, who has barely won in the last forever or lost at home.
Yeah. But
Penn State's favored by 6.5. Penn State still may win, but again, I think it's going to be a closer game.
You know what? I'm going to pick Iowa.
We will pick Iowa in those points. We're going to take Iowa in those points. So
James Franklin has not showed me anything.
big game, James Franklin.
He's not showed me anything.
No, so we'll take a little Iowa plus 6.5 on that one. And then we got K-State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's favored by 25. I think that's a safe bet. They'll beat
That's
them
a
by
good
20.
bet.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray and Oklahoma.
more than 25, probably.
Yes.
We have the Bulls, South Florida at Houston. Houston's favored by 7.5.
I'm picking the upset.
We think Houston's going to win that one. I do like me some Charlie Strong and those Bulls.
Yeah, they're a fun, gritty team, but I think Houston is the team that's going to knock them off.
Yeah. And then we got a strange one. It's another SEC game. Kentucky at Missouri. Kentucky ranked number 12 in the country at 4-3 in Missouri, and Missouri's favored by 7. So Kentucky's struggling. That's why.
They have a running game, but their quarterback is crap.
Yeah, he can't. Well, he can run, but
He
again,
can run, but he cannot
can't throw the ball.
He's Nick Fitzgerald 2.0.
Stupid death. And Benny Snell did get a little nicked up last week, so we don't know if he's 100% or not. So, I think Missouri might win it.
Missouri's going to win against number 12 Kentucky.
Yeah, but I'm going to take Kentucky and the points though because I don't think it's going to be 7.
Interesting.
Because Missouri sucks too.
Missouri's
I mean, really, face it here. They're not no go get them team either, you know. So.
Hey, how about that Drew Lock guy? He's actually pretty good though.
Yeah, now he's a really good quarterback on a really bad team.
He's one of those quarterbacks you wish was on a different team.
There's another Luck like that somewhere.
Andrew?
Oh, a really good quarterback on a really bad team. That's what it sort of seems like. Yeah, he may be the first quarterback. He'll definitely be one of the first 2 or 3 quarterbacks taken in the draft, and he's on a 4-3 team. We got Washington at Cal. Washington's favored by 12. They'll probably beat them by more than 12.
Yeah.
Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Mississippi State's actually favored by 2.
Why?
I don't know. They're horrible. Mississippi State is just
bad.
So,
but we'll take A&M.
We're going to take A&M plus 2. We got 2 points to play with there. Washington State at Stanford. Stanford again is favored by 3. We're picking a lot of upsets this week. I like Washington State. They beat the crap out of Oregon last week. Why can't they beat up Stanford? Oregon's a better team than Stanford. So we're going to take a little Washington State plus 3 on that one.
Yeah, Stanford is really disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that Bryce Love guy? That running back that was supposed to compete for the Heisman? Where has he been?
I know. I haven't heard his name since game 1. I don't know. We got NC State at Syracuse. NC State's favored by 2. NC State's coming off of that bad loss. I think they're going to try to prove themselves this week. I'll take a little NC State minus those 2 there. Notre Dame at Navy. Navy's go Armed Forces, but Navy's got a bad team this year.
Yeah, 2-5, not a good start.
No.
Playing against number 3
Notre Dame minus 24, but I think Notre Dame probably beats them by more than 24.
Notre Dame and Navy have had a long rivalry, but it's been pretty much dominant in terms of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I said Navy's not having a good year this season. We got Texas at Okie State. Here's my upset of the week. I'm going Okie State.
You're going Oklahoma State against Texas?
I'm going them Cowboys. I'm going to go for them Cowboys versus them Longhorn.
So
I don't know. I got this soft spot for the teams with Cowboys in their name.
Gundy.
I'm a man. I'm 40. You got to like Gundy. I'm a man. But we got Okie State plus 3.5 on that one. So
Gargamel has returned.
Gargamel has returned
as quarterback.
I think the Texas is maybe a little just overconfident. Maybe. And then last but not least, we got Oregon licking their wounds at Arizona. Oregon's favored by 9.5. I think they win this by 10 plus.
Yes.
So that's it.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
we got the Vols.
We have to pick the Vols. The Vols are at South Carolina this week, and
South Carolina is favored by 8.5.
8.5. Now, if you look back through the history of the Tennessee-South Carolina games,
they've always been close.
They've always been close. They're normally within a field goal. Somebody kicks a field goal out to the end and wins. I actually think Tennessee might win this one, but I'm definitely going to take Tennessee plus 8.5 because even if South Carolina wins by 7, I'm a winner. So I'm taking some Tennessee plus 8.5. Do you have a stinker of the week? Nebraska got off the snide. They finally won one.
That's amazing.
They're 1 and 6 now.
That's astounding.
How about them players that lost to him? You gotta feel good about yourself, don't you?
How about the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the team that lost to Nebraska?
Yeah, that might be the stinker of the week. That's pretty bad.
Or we could also have two runner-ups. We have Nick Fitzgerald. He was terrible.
4 picks.
He doesn't even have 100 yards passing in that game.
Wasn't it that he had what was his numbers now? He was 8. He had
8 and 23.
He had 8 completions. I believe it was 8 or no, he was 12 of 23 or something like that. But anyways, half of his completions were to the other team. He was 8 for 23 on completions, so 4 of them. No, he actually had 12 completions. That was it. 4 of them was to the other team, though. It was 8 for 23. It was actually 12 for 23, but 4 of them were for the other team.
Oh, boy.
But anyways.
Okay, that's it.
That's it. All right. All right. Be sure and hit the like button down here. Hit the subscribe button down here.
Send us a thought.
Send us a thought or a comment. Tell us maybe your favorite pick of the week, and we'll compare some stuff with you. Be sure to hit the groovy baby button over here somewhere. Groovy baby button.
Somewhere on my head.
Somewhere back there somewhere. Other than that, we're out till football next week.
See you next week.
See you.